Georgia Game Changers, inspiring people, improving our community.
They are our neighbors, our co-workers, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. They are Georgia Game Changers.
This Emory graduate won $100,000, and he gave it all away.
And you could have just kept it.
I could have just kept it.
An injury left this Atlanta man in a wheelchair. How he's helping paralyzed patients around the world. Members of this student orchestra performed with a superstar rapper, the music program that's a game changer in their lives. And this office is unique. It's where autistic adults are put to work.
You are game changers. You're changing families and businesses.
Now, Georgia Game Changers, inspiring people, improving our community. A Channel 2 special.
I'm Jovita Moore. Our first game changer is Rustam Zafari. This 22-year-old from Decatur won $100,000 for an invention and gave all of it away. Zafari got the prize money for creating a test to detect the deadly Ebola virus. Back in 2014, an Ebola outbreak in West Africa killed thousands of people. Healthcare and mission workers were among those infected with the virus. Some of those workers came to Emory Hospital for life-saving treatment. While attending Emory University, Zafari and a classmate developed the rapid Ebola detection strips known as REDS. And how did you come up with an ideal of all things Ebola?
It was just a sequence of events. My best friend passed away in a plane accident, and the next day was the first day of class, my freshman year. And my professor, Dr. Rochelle Spell, put out a challenge to the whole freshman class. If you create something to impact the Ebola virus, then I will give you half a point of extra credit on our first quiz. Half a point.
Half a point, that's it.
So we raised $15,000 and we got a lab from Emory University, and we worked like crazy up till midnight and pushed away a lot of our schoolwork to focus on it, and when it worked, it was one of the proudest moments of my life.
His invention not only worked, it led to him winning a $100,000 prize for entrepreneurship. A lot of people, though, would get $100,000 and then use that money to do more work, but you didn't want to do that. You made it a different sort of investment with it.
That's a great question, because I thought a lot about it. Like, first of all, there's a lot of causes you can give to.
And you could have just kept it.
And I could have just kept it, and I could have just kept it. The one thing is, you know, at that age, that kind of money, you don't want to be lazy and, you know, go do the wrong things. I didn't want that. So this is the first $100,000 I've ever made. I want it to go to something important and meaningful so I can build a pattern for myself, you know, and go down that path. What's up, brother?
Great to see you.
Great seeing you.
Zafari decided to give the money to the new school in Southeast Atlanta. James Watson, co-founder of the new school, explains its mission.
The students spend part of the day working in traditional classes. They'll go to math, they'll go to physics. Sometimes those classes are very project-based, but part of the day, every day, the students are working outside of the classroom, sometimes physically outside of the classroom, with people from the community who are not just their teachers.
How do we...
Zafari was a volunteer at the new school's entrepreneur program when he learned that he won the $100,000.
He called me up and said, I've made a decision, and I'm going to give the money to the school. And I couldn't believe it. It's amazing that someone so young even thinks about giving back to people just slightly younger than him to support their dreams and their goals.
His achievements don't end with his Ebola test and his very generous gift. He also assisted in the creation of a tutoring app called Maestro. So it's connecting high school students with college tutors to help them out in school. And again, so education is kind of a thing for you.
I think education is the closest thing we have to a superpower, especially when it's done right. I mean, you hear a lot of entrepreneurs being anti-education, and that was never the case for me. I think if you're learning the right way in the right programs with the right mentors, it's incredible. And it doesn't have to be formal. So we're putting out 30,000 a day.
Zafari showed me yet another invention, an edible spoon. Yes, a spoon that you can use, and when you're finished with it, you can eat it.
So Savor is the world's first edible spoon. There's gonna be more plastic in our oceans than fish by 2050. And more shockingly, 50% of the plastic we use only one time. This is just flour and water, so.
That is that is amazing. And it comes in flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about, did you say dark chocolate?
Yeah.
And the sea salt.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be mine. This is really good.
Yeah.
So what inspires you to do all of this, to change this city and change the world almost one creation at a time?
For me, I think suffering isn't inherent. I think suffering is a design problem, right? So if we look around, and whether it's poverty or plastic pollution or access to education, like these are not things that have to exist. There's things that we can challenge and change if we bring the right teams together and put thoughtful solutions out there. I think that's why education is so powerful. If we educate our people to be creative and tackle big problems and commit to them, then we'll have a much brighter and better future.
I'm Justin Farmer. Our next game changer is Vincenzo Piscopo. 8 years ago, he suffered a spinal cord injury that left him paralyzed. It not only changed his life, but it also changed his purpose for living. But first, Piscopo had to learn how to live with this disability.
The first 3 weeks, 2 weeks were awful, were tough. I mean, I entered in a depression, the worst depression of my life, where I was spending a lot of time, most of my time crying, and because I felt that my world was over.
Piscopo underwent months of intensive rehab at Atlanta's Shepherd Center.
We can do that.
He told me
also.
his wife, Gabriella, helped him change his attitude about his disability.
And she said, Enzo, the things that make us happy are still intact. So that allowed me to say, you know what, you are right. The things that make me happy. And then on, it was like a switch. I started, focusing on the things that I can do and not on the things that I cannot do, because the things that I can do are too many, are incredible, are infinite. And the things that I cannot do, you can count them with your fingers.
I would say focus on the positive, because there is so much to feel good about. But every person has to do it in their own terms. So it takes a little longer for some, it takes a little less for others.
As he continued to rehab, Piscopo says he was so grateful for the support he received from family and friends, and he felt he had to pay it forward.
Okay,
so he started a nonprofit, the Wheels of Happiness Foundation.
We want to help people with motor disability live life with dignity. And a lot of people with disability in disadvantaged parts of the world, they lose their dignity because they don't have the minimum help, the minimum support to live life with dignity. So that's the first one. Second goal is actually to reintegrate people with disability into their communities so that they can add value back to the communities.
Is one of the things you would do is deliver wheelchairs?
Yes.
We deliver wheelchairs and we deliver supplies, medical supplies for people with disabilities, and then sometimes help with surgeries and physical therapy.
And have a look at this. These people, just some of the kids and adults who received much-needed wheelchairs and medical supplies from the Wheels of Happiness Foundation.
Describe for our viewers how bad it actually is for someone in a country in Africa or a country in South America who sustains an injury such as yours, how really brutal life can be.
We have one of our kids that we helped is in Colombia in a town called Chocó. So his parent would take him to school every once in a while in a regular chair, and they would carry him blocks after block. So by giving them a wheelchair, the kid not only had the opportunity to actually go to school, but also to socialize.
Local volunteers helped the Piscopos pack and ship the items.
In our budget.
Right.
Vincenzo Piscopo also gets support from his day job, Atlanta-based Coca-Cola.
We know that it's just as important to support them here inside these four walls as supporting them outside of the four walls. And we know that when we do that, it helps them become better employees and it helps us become a better employer.
And she says Piscopo's impact on her and his coworkers go beyond his job.
What I've learned from Enzo is not to make excuses, to be brave, to persevere, to have tenacity. He shows those qualities every day. He doesn't make any excuses. He comes in, does his job, does it with excellence, and, you know, doesn't take for granted anything that comes across his path.
In addition to helping those in other nations, Piscopo's organization is helping paralyzed people who live in the United States.
You're having such an impact on so many human beings now.
It was God's way to actually open my eyes and show me why I'm here in this world. And I've taken that responsibility and I'm enjoying it, you know, very much.
Georgia Game Changers, inspiring people, improving our community. How a local nonprofit is helping autistic adults improve their lives. Next, these music students got to perform with a superstar rapper, the game changer who put them together. Georgia Game Changers is a family-to-family special, a partnership with Kroger, Northside Hospital, Scana Energy, American Signature Furniture, and Delta Community Credit Union. Georgia Game Changers, inspiring people, improving our community, continues now with Channel 2's Fred Blankenship.
Music could be a game changer for these student orchestra performers. They're with the Atlanta Music Project. Their organization provides free instruments and free music lessons to students. Dante Rameau is executive director.
There's one part that I find extremely fascinating about all this, is you truly believe that every child out there has the gift of music.
Yes.
You believe that they can play.
Yes.
Dante? Every child?
Every child, I guarantee you, if we can take a child and they come to our centers or to our program sites 5 days a week for 6 months, any kid.
That's what happens.
Rameau told me his passion for music came from being exposed to all kinds of music while growing up in Canada. He would go on to earn a master's degree in music from Yale University. After graduation, his plan was to play the bassoon professionally.
Now, you're at Yale, and you would have, I call it the Oprah aha moment.
Yep.
Which changed your life.
They offer us the chance to go and help the music teachers in the public schools in the area, and I take that chance. At one point, the kids asked me, "Do you really go to Yale?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And they said, "We don't believe you. You know, show us your student ID." I realized that they were asking me if I went to Yale probably because they didn't believe that a young African American in a hoodie was at Yale would come to their school and actually help them. So it kind of devastated me. And so I decided to split performance and education as a career.
Friends encouraged Rameau to start his new career, teaching music to underserved kids right here in Atlanta. So in 2010, the Atlanta Music Project was born.
Our type of program is almost non-existent. And so we put it in a place where it's close to their house. We never audition students, and we don't ask them for prior musical experience. Do you want to commit to coming here every day? Yes, let's go.
It's that simple?
Yeah.
Under the tuition-free program, students practice several hours, several days a week. Rameau believes teaching directly in the community keeps students and their parents motivated and committed. Danielle LeBird, a high school senior, has been playing the cello with the Atlanta Music Project since middle school.
The reason why I want to be a musician is to just make others happy for what I love to do.
How have you grown in 5 to 6 years?
I guess with me being more confident.
Where do you think this can take you?
I would like to perform in the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra or travel and see the world with my instrument.
Students from the Atlanta Music Project have performed all over the country and in Mexico City. Recently, they played with Atlanta rapper T.I. for a series on National Public Radio called Tiny Desk Concerts.
T.I. knows exactly what we're trying to do. He understands intuitively why this program is important.
It shows you where you can go.
This is about showing to people that there are families in all neighborhoods everywhere that have great kids, great dedication, but could also use an opportunity for their kids to do something meaningful, to do something that can change their lives.
Well, I tell you what, you're changing the lives of so many kids here in Atlanta, changing the view of what it means to be a child in Atlanta in some circles. We appreciate you, and thank you for being a Georgia game changer.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's an honor.
Georgia Game Changers, inspiring people, improving our community. The organization that's putting autistic adults to work. And later, it's back to music class for Fred. Georgia Game Changers continues now with Channel 2's Linda Stouffer.
Sarah Barron and her husband Chet Hurwitz founded nonprofit Ventures ATL. It's a game changer for adults with autism. The organization hires and trains workers who are autistic. Emmanuel Abua does computer data entry and completes orders for products. He was diagnosed as autistic just a few years ago.
It took me a minute to get really okay. I would say it's been 6 years. I would say within the last year or so, I reached a point where I'm okay.
And how does your work here play into that? How has it helped you?
I feel like I've honestly helped. There's this feeling of warmth, of pride, of getting the job done, but also the satisfaction knowing I have been able to solve the problem and help move the company forward.
The majority of autistic adults are not as fortunate as Abua. Research shows 70 to 90% of autistic adults in this country are unemployed or have jobs that are below their skill set. It's an issue that's very personal for Sarah Barron and Chet Hurwitz.
As a parent of our son, that at some point in his 20s, the issue of whether he has a job that fits his strengths and interests would be a key factor in his happiness and success in life. We decided to focus a lot of our energies around that issue.
You used an interesting word. You said strengths. Focus on the strengths. Tell me about that.
For many of them, they have a significantly higher than average ability to focus, to see things literally, an affinity for repetitive tasks, and an attention to detail that for them is a source of strength and comfort and can be applied to many important tasks and activities that need to be done in the business world.
This is a room where we do a lot of data entry work.
The couple started Ventures ATL more than a year ago. Potential employees don't even undergo a traditional job interview.
We give them some challenges where they're asked to do some data entry problem solving that we give them that enables us to see what they can do. It shows where they might get frustrated. Do they have the capability of asking a question if they've got a problem? And how do they handle real work instead of being asked to talk about what they've done maybe for a previous employer?
And the Ventures ATL workplace is designed to help autistic employees grow.
We try to have opportunities for them to be comfortable, enough space, and dealing with noise and issues that could be distractions for them. We also emphasize clarity of instructions in the projects that we take on, which is really important.
One of Ventures ATL's clients is the upscale handbag maker, Dooney & Burke. Workers ship the bags around the world, and there's a special autism awareness emblem on the front of each handbag.
And this is designed to spark conversations and draw attention to autism.
Does it say anything special on the inside too, or is it just here?
When we ship these, our employees, who of course are handling the product fulfillment, write a personal note.
What's it like for you when you see that fit between the adult and the job, and it just works?
It is simply amazing because you see how their lives have been transformed.
We're giving people with real talent an opportunity to do something that, in general, they typically don't have.
You are game changers. You're changing families and businesses.
Well, thanks. Thank you very
much.
Next, a surprise music lesson for Fred.
After my interview with game changer Dante Ramo, he had a surprise for me.
What is this?
I don't know how this showed up.
You brought a clarinet?
I haven't played the clarinet since I was in elementary school.
Uh-oh, this is bringing back a flashback, and not always the best of them. Okay.
After a quick lesson reminded me how to hold the instrument, I was ready.
Almost like you're saying tie into the... It's a nice tone. Yeah, nice tone. Yeah, just like Kenny G. Like just holding it. Yeah.
Just like Kenny G.
Just like...
Just like
But you know what?
Kenny G.
Oh, Kenny G, Branford Marcellus, all the greats. My apologies.
I think you show real promise.
You do?
You could do it. A little more rehearsal, maybe. Just a little.
My support system. We all need one. I am sticking with my day job, and we want to hear about the game changers in your neighborhood. Send your nominations to georgia.gamechangers@WSB-TV.com.
And you can watch all episodes of Georgia Game Changers on WSB-TV's app. It's available on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Thank you for joining us.